Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, Kiwi time up in here in the heavyweight division, brother. You know I roll with Joe. Joseph Parker versus Junior Fa, right? And this is a New Zealand dust up, right? Samoan dust up. Kiwi Pacifica dust up, right? This is a huge fight in that hemisphere. Huge fight. And this is the epitome of seizing the moment. We're in a pandemic, which everybody stay safe because it's going down right now again. We're probably going to have to lock down again because people ain't acting up, but I ain't going to go there. Bottom line is we have this. New Zealand's doing pretty well, but those guys are over there now, and they should fight. Shoot, Junior Fa is still undefeated, although he ain't fought too many, anyone of note. But still, to be 19-0, got about 10 KOs, it's a guy who is pretty good. Now we can't from his pro career, we can't really say much. I can't say, man, he gonna beat this and he gonna beat that because of the simple fact of he hasn't fought anyone of note. But listen, this is of note. We 2-2 in the amateurs. I got two on you, and you got two on me. So we got two on Joseph Parker. So it's a little rivalry, and we come from around the same place. It's a rivalry. It's a big deal in that hemisphere, and I'm glad for them for having this fight for a while because they've been going back and forth. Right. So, and let's talk Junior Fall first. Junior Fall said he'd been wanting this fight to be a big fight, right? He's 30 years old himself, and he's like, I wanted this to be a big fight, so I had to move myself up to make it a respectable fight, which is true because Joseph Parker handled his business. We'll get to him in a minute, but like, hey, like, we can't just because we're from New Zealand. I couldn't have fought him 2 years ago and have Junior Fall who, right? So now, a little few people are knowing Junior Fall, not really many more because he's sparring people of note, but he hasn't had the big fights. But it's still going to be there. But listen, he's just said I've been better than Joseph Park for a long time. This ain't nothing new. I'm about to beat him now because I've been better than him. So this is what's going to be good about it. So it's going down on December 11th in Auckland, right at the Spark Arena, and it's a blockbuster in Kiwi land. Let me tell you now. Now Joseph Parker, I roll with Joe. Simple as that. I rode with Joe from the beginning. Bottom line, I've seen these fights. I know what I see. Right? Joseph Parker to me is the top five heavyweight. The two losses that he has, he's 27-2, and the two losses are very, extremely controversial. His loss to Dillian White is controversial. If we would have had some referees on the side or that instant replay they're about to start using when he got knocked down in round two with by a headbutt and was concussed the rest of the fight, to fight Dillian White on that level, concussed, plus somebody got a 10-8 round, a round that Dillian White was going to lose, right? That switched it. And he really won that fight. And against Anthony Joshua, I'm going to always say it. Because for people that just don't know, because, I'm not a big channel. It's only 6 people that come in here. So for those six, 4 of them don't know this. Bottom line is this. Joseph Parker versus Anthony Joshua had a referee from Italy that did not speak English. So who the hell was that? And that's why he didn't know how to say nothing except break. Why would you do that with two English speaking people and we're fighting in England, for crying out loud? Why would you do that? Okay, that's the reason why they didn't get close and couldn't have any infighting. So that's suspect, right? That's suspect. That's extremely suspect. Why do we have a guy that can't speak English? Just because I might have to say something else to this dude except break. Hey, hold up, homeboy, what you doing? That me do it one more time, I'm gonna dock your point. Something you can't even say nothing. So that was weird, and I'm being nice. But my point is, when I say he had two controversial losses, damn it, I mean it. And just from Joseph Parker's talent, I think he's a top five heavyweight. And we got some good heavyweights, but I put him in front of Dillian White. That's just me. Now Dillian White has lost. Now you would probably understand why I would do that, right? But this is Joseph Parker we talk about, and the man is a damn good heavyweight. He's not the one punch knockout power, but he's quick enough, got a good enough jab, got a good enough defense. He's just decent heavyweight, not decent, a very damn good heavyweight, right? So, and I'm going for him because of that. And I've just noticed, sometimes when you get older, you start wondering, well, why am I this way? My favorite people, like in boxing, my favorite heavyweight is Lennox Lewis. Period. I got Lennox Lewis against anybody all time. He's my GOAT. Anybody, all time. All them ones way back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s and all that. 6'1", 210 pounds. You're not beating Lennox Lewis. I don't care what your name is. not 2 out of 3. I don't care. You're not, right? And all these big ones now, Lennox Lewis is 6'5", about 240. He's able to deal with the big ones and small ones. He's smart enough to fight. He's not just going in there reckless. He understands the game. He's a chess player. And he got enough power that you're going to respect him, got enough speed and athleticism, Lennox Lewis. But he was always underestimated. People still talk about Mike Tyson before Lennox Lewis. Mike Tyson never wanted to fight Lennox Lewis. Fought Evander Holyfield instead of Lennox Lewis, right? That's why Lennox Lewis, I got him against anybody, but he was underestimated. People didn't respect him like they should have, right? So I gravitate to that. You talk basketball, for those who don't know, we're talking New Zealand now. They probably don't know too much about basketball, but damn it, if somebody asks you who's your favorite player, most people are going to say Michael Jordan. Who's the best player? They think Michael Jordan. I'm Hakeem Olajuwon, and I'm a basketball coach, right? Basketball coach, which means if I'm picking a team of all time, all players ever, I start my team with Hakeem Olajuwon. Period. But people don't talk about Hakeem Olajuwon. Never do. Leading blocks of all time. Block shots. All time. And I'm guaranteed, without even going looking at the statistics, he's probably leading all centers in steals. Probably all time. Because he was in the top 10 steals at least 6, 7 seasons. Right? So I didn't even talk about his offense, but let me talk about it now. You ain't stopping him. Period. Who if you 6'10" or taller, you ain't stopping this dude, right? And if you're small, I'm posting you up anyway. I'm gonna make my free throws. I'm gonna make my mid-range shots. I'm dominating. So that's my point. But people don't talk about Hakeem Olajuwon, now do they? Except for example, Michael Jordan. You know what he says? If he picks his team to start with to fight to ball against anybody, he starts with Hakeem Olajuwon too. He know what time it is. Hakeem Olajuwon, but nobody talks about it. It's my favorite player. If you go to tennis, damn it, it's Monica Seles. Damn it, nobody talks about Monica Seles. Steffi Graf was Mike Tyson of tennis back in the day. Mike Tyson of tennis. Steffi Graf is 6'0", 6'1", or something like that. You can get beat by Fraulein Forehand, Steffi Graf. Till a little girl from Serbia came, but 16 years old, and started getting her in her butt a little bit. And then all them other ones that was playing at the time, the Yana Navadas and the Sanchez Vicario, and them girls, and Gabriela Sabatini and all of that stuff, Mandlikova and all them, then they start beating her a little bit. Because they was all, frightened at first. But when the little girl came, Monica Seles, that's when it stopped. Then they start complaining about her grunting. They start complaining because it was the grunting. No, it wasn't. It was like you fronting because she grunt. This girl was the bomb. Bottom line, but nobody talk about her. My favorite tennis player of all time, right? Female at least. My male is something different. That's Roger Federer, and John McEnroe. But whatever. The point is, I gravitate to people who don't get the respect that they deserve. And Joseph Parker is one of them. Now, could have Joseph Parker went over there and to England and been more aggressive against Dillian White or more aggressive against Anthony Joshua? Yeah, he could have. But why should he have to? Right? Why should he have to? He's on their level for sure, and he's proved it already. So that's why I roll with him. Let me not get into it enough. But let me tell y'all something. We're going to talk more about the fight, more about Joseph Parker and Junior Fall leading up to the fight. Right now, it's about letting y'all know, don't you dare miss it. This is Joe up in here. No slight to Junior Fall at all, right? May the best man win. But, I ain't going to lie and act like I don't roll with Joe, because I do that for show. Period. Doma Sports Talk worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.